Good morning. I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to Ask This Old House. If you've got a question about your house, send it to us, and we will do everything we can to find you an answer, even if that means sending one of our guys back to school, which is exactly what we're going to do with Roger Cook today. But first, Tommy, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So what are you working on for us?
Well, I actually got an email from a homeowner complaining about some mold and mildew growing on the back of his house, under the soffit, on the gutter, and even under the roof.
So he's got mold on the outside of the house and on the inside of the house? What's going to cause that?
Well, it turns out the culprit was the bathroom fan, but I'm going to show him how to fix that.
All right, so for you, it's up to the roof.
Yep.
But for Roger, it's back to school.
Today we're at one of the greatest educational centers in the world, Harvard University. We are in Harvard Yard, and this is where I actually got my start. No, I didn't go to school here, but I started landscaping here. My first landscape job was to prune the ivy off the windows of all the buildings. You can see I did a good job. It's all gone now. But I was lucky enough to have my son attend and graduate from Harvard, so I'm really familiar with the area. But the reason we're at Harvard today is to talk about organic lawn care. And to do that, we're going to meet up with Wayne Carbone, the head groundsman for Harvard. Good morning, Wayne.
Hey, Roger, how you doing?
Well, you got a lot of grass to take care of here.
Yeah, we do. We have about 80 acres throughout the campus.
Now, you're not watering today.
No, we're not. What we're doing here is we're applying a liquid biological amendment. It's a compost tea. So we're adding biology to our soils.
Now, that takes the place of the conventional chemical program?
Yes, it does. About a year and a half ago, we transitioned to a fully organic program. We've always been reducing our dependencies on chemicals, but this gave us the opportunity to eliminate all synthetic fertilizers and all harmful chemicals.
This compost tea is the rage right now. Now, I assume you make your own here?
Yes, we do.
Well, let's take a look.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Roger, you can't have great compost tea without great compost.
This is your compost?
Yeah, this is our compost. I mean, in the past, we used to truck 500 tons of organic waste, landscape waste, off campus to another compost facility. But now what we do is we compost it ourselves. What we do here is this is everything from grass clippings to herbaceous perennials to woody plant prunings. We'll add some vegetable waste and some coffee grounds as our nitrogen source as we're developing different fungal or bacterial mixes. But it's a great thing, even for the homeowner.
For the homeowner, rather than sticking all their yard waste in a plastic bag, sending it to a landfill, they can add it and make their own compost.
Exactly, and the beautiful part about this is you're utilizing your landscape waste, which is coming from your landscape, and you're reintroducing it to your landscape.
So what's our next step?
Our next step is to add this compost into a tea bag. This is Kieran Klein, and what he's going to do is he's going to add a compost to the tea bag, which we're going to put into our compost tea brewer. So the tea bag is a 400 micron mesh. What Kieran's doing here is he's securing it to this coupling unit, which we're going to add to the compost tea brewer.
All right, let's drop it in.
Well, Roger, this is our commercial grade compost tea brewer. We have a capacity of about 250 gallons of compost tea that we can brew right here. What Kieran has right here is our compost tea bag and its fiber. What we're going to do is add this into the brewer, connect it there to the coupling.
And this pump is adding air to the system.
Yeah, that's important, Roger, because what we're trying to do is coax the beneficial organisms. If we didn't add air to the system, we'd be developing an anaerobic tea, which is basically just brown mud. The most important part of our compost tea is our compost, using a quality compost. But we also add food sources to coax specific biology for our deficiencies within our soils. For instance, Kieran over there, he's adding some kelp.
Which is just ground up seaweed.
Exactly. And what we're going to do is we'll add that to the mix. And then we'll add some fish hydrolysis, which is basically ground up fish, exactly.
Now, what is the purpose of adding all these individual things?
Well, with these specific food sources, what we're doing is we're trying to coax bacterial activity within this compost tea. And now our final ingredient with this mix is a molasses portion of the brew. Molasses. The bacteria love it.
So you can actually specify your mix.
Exactly. We can also, this is a bacterial mix where we're trying to coax the bacterial activity. You can add humic acid also. There's different mixes on our website which will help you determine.
Yeah, you can make any sort of microbrew you want.
Exactly, depending on the deficiencies of your landscape.
And how long does it have to churn like this?
Depending on the brew, a bacterial mix usually takes about 18 to 24 hours. A fungal mix takes up to 48 hours of actual brew time.
Well, still, that's pretty quick turnover.
Yeah, it is. It's quick turnover.
And this gets loaded on the truck?
This gets loaded on the truck, and we can brew it right on site. We'll extract this into our sprayers and reintroduce it to the landscape. Well, Roger, let me show you some of the benefits that we've seen in our organic program. What we've done here is we've taken two cores. One from our organically maintained property here at Harvard Yard, which is 16 acres of landscape, and this is a core taken from one of our conventionally maintained landscapes. And as you can see, these roots in the organic core are up to 8 to 10 inches deep.
And that's great because most lawns I see, it's a 3 to 4 inch layer. That 8 to 10 inch root zone, that really holds water and stops this grass from drying out.
Exactly. When we started this project, we had a defined compaction layer 3 to 4 inches deep. And by breaking through that compaction layer, we were able to get air down deep into those roots and moisture.
And nutrients.
Exactly.
And here's your result.
These are the results. This is Harvard Yard. What we've done is we've been able to minimize our water needs. Last year alone, we estimate that we saved almost 2 million gallons of water maintaining this property. By using our organic methods, we're able to mow the lawn less because the grasses and the plants are growing naturally, and we're not putting them on steroids and synthetic fertilizers and things like that.
And no chemicals.
No chemicals at all.
Well, thanks for your inspiration, and I'm going to go out right now and make one of these compost
Give me a call
teas.
if you need a hand.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roger.
Kevin, we're going to brew our compost tea in this. It's a rain barrel. It has a lid that comes off the top, so we can get in and do all our work in here.
Okay, so this guy holds 50 gallons of water,
Right.
and it's nice to put it right up next to a rain spout so that we can bring the water in from the spout right into our barrel.
Free water to start with, but our most important ingredient is going to be our compost.
So, again, what's the rule of thumb for compost, the mix?
You want to use 2 parts brown, like the coffee.
Boy, that's a lot of coffee there, Roger. Now I know how you get up at 4 in the morning.
That's just from this morning.
All right.
So you use 2 parts brown, the coffee, maybe some leaves, to 1 part green, which is the grass.
Great.
Brown could be leaves, newspaper, or even wood chips.
Okay.
So once it breaks down into compost, we're going to load it up in this bag. In this case, this is a 400 micron bag, but I've used cheesecloth. I've even used an old pair of pantyhose to hold the compost in.
I'm not touching that one. All right, so in it goes.
And it goes and it just sets right there.
And we have to aerate this, so how are we going to do that?
Right, to aerate our compost tea, I use this 3/8 inch flexible irrigation pipe, drilled a series of small holes in it, and then made a coil down in the barrel. I pulled the pipe out the side of the barrel and connected it to this pond pump.
Okay.
This pump is used to pump air into ponds and oxygenate them, but we're going to use it to oxygenate our mix.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pump it in and get the air going.
Oh, look
go.
at this brew right here. That is terrific. Now, in addition to the compost, we've got a couple other ingredients.
Yep, right here. The first thing I'm going to have you do is just put in a little dab of organic molasses.
I love it. Let's see. Here it comes. Slow and smooth.
Okay, give me about a quart of this ground up fish.
I'm not even going to ask.
All right. Now we have some liquid kelp. Give me about a quart of that. Now these are all food that are going to help beneficial bacteria grow that are good for the lawn.
And how about the aerating? How long does this process go on?
We're going to let this cook for 24 to 48 hours, and then it'll be ready to go on the lawn.
Okay. Oh, look at this brew. This is great. So now let's talk about how we're going to get it onto the lawn. Now this rain barrel here comes with a spigot, which is a great idea because you can just draw it off down here. Whew.
Well, you can take and fill up a hand waterer, Kevin,
So you're suggesting that we're going to use a watering can?
on a real small lawn, or you could use this pump sprayer. Now you just take and fill the pump sprayer up, but the secret to using this is to take the filter off the end before you spray, because there's small particles in our tea, and it'll jam up and clog the tip.
Now, both of these are pretty small containers, which
Yep.
would be all right for a smaller job. What if I wanted to get tea over the entire yard?
What we do in that case, Kevin, is we would drop this sump pump into the barrel.
Okay, going in.
Okay, I'm going to unplug our aerator and plug in the sump pump,
And the sump pump is hooked up to this garden hose.
right, with a nozzle on the end, and take that. See how that works out for you.
So that's been pressurized and... Oh, yeah.
That's going to give us good coverage.
A nice brew of tea over the lawn. It's going to be green and healthy.
And the great thing about the tea is a little goes a long way. It takes 1 gallon of it to cover 1,000 square feet, and you want to do that 4 times during the growing season.
Oh, that's a nice brew, Roger, and no chemicals.
All right, boys, there are 4 of these little half circles that are orange. You put them down together. Look at that. There's a circle. Now, did I mention they were orange?
You did.
Okay. So I got one thing to say to you. What is it?
That's it?
That's it.
They're half circles.
Thank you.
Guys, I got it today.
You got it?
Oh, nice.
They have a holder for everything in your truck. Coffee,
Sure.
money,
Yeah.
sunglasses,
Yeah,
phone.
sure.
What if you go to the takeout taco place and get a taco? You have a holder for that?
Right.
Now you do.
I just need them.
Take your taco. Yeah, but before you eat it, you got to touch it. So you just slide it in there, eat away, and you're clean at the end of the day.
That's your guess?
Oh, yeah.
That's a napkin, Roger.
I wanted it wasn't very filling, but
That'll really hold a lot. Now, look, I use these on the job site all the time.
You eat
all
of
the time.
tacos?
No, of course, look at me. I don't look like I eat a lot of tacos. These are orange because you can spot them. You always lose things on the job site. So you
Safety
need
color,
some.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I carry a lot of wood around and you get splinters, and I want to protect my delicate hands.
Oh, look at how delicate they are.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Now, for example, let's say I want to carry this sheet of plywood. You know, you carry it, your hands slide on it, you got a splinter. Put these on the edges of the plywood. You can use one on the top or the bottom.
Yeah.
And let's say I want to pass the sheet off to somebody like Kevin. Take that sheet. Look, he can just carry it. I don't get a splinter.
Pass her.
he did.
I don't care about you.
No, I don't think so, boys. Now, you guys all know that I'm naturally a very well put together guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, that doesn't come so easy to most folks. You know, you wake up in the morning, you get your shirt in, but eventually it just comes
Sleep on
untucked.
your clothes again?
And you don't want to look all unkempt, right?
I heard those
Well,
guys.
these, once you get yourself tucked in, okay, you can actually just clip the shirt right in
Oh,
place.
so
It
the
doesn't
shirt
go
won't
anywhere.
ride up.
And this way, you don't look silly.
I thought it was
you
stupid,
don't
but
look
that's,
silly.
that,
On
that's
the
very
off
safe.
chance that you're working underneath the sink,
Oh, is that for me? A little protective for the old.
well, you know, no one wants
yeah.
to see
Yeah,
your
yeah,
taco.
thank you. You know what I mean, boys? All right. Well, you know what? When you go, say we're moving.
We're moving.
We're moving. We go to get some boxes from the rental store. They have tabs. You fold them back like this, and you build your box, right?
Nice.
You flip it over. Look at how easy it goes together, too. Then you tape that shut. Now, when you pack in the box, there's no problem. The flaps don't get in your way. And when you're done, you just got these tabs on the side right there.
Yeah.
Then you seal it up.
Okay.
What if you're going to reuse or re-gift? So you go to a dumpster or your basement, you find a box like this, and so now you're trying to put stuff in, the flaps are in your way. Not so with this little taco thing. Watch what happens.
Wow.
Look at
Huh?
that.
Yeah. All right.
Flaps
Wow.
are free.
Hey, look at that.
Pretty neat.
So what's the real answer?
That is the real answer.
No,
it is.
I don't want to get any more splinters.
Available in aisle 6, right over there.
Our story today takes us up on a roof. Let me show you what I have back here. I have a fascia, an overhang, which is the soffit underneath here, and these vented pieces right here are perforated pieces. They're actually a soffit vent. It's designed to take the cooler air from under the overhang into the attic. Let me show you where it goes. Now I'm here at the highest part of the roof, the ridge. Underneath these shingles right here, there's a slot in the roof that runs the entire length. That's called a ridge vent. It's designed to let the hot air of the attic out, pulling the cooler air from the soffit vents into the attic. Unfortunately, it's pulling more than just cool air into the attic. Now back here under the overhang, there's another kind of vent. This one right here. And this is a vent from the bathroom fan. And it should never be in a vented soffit. It's causing the homeowners a lot of problems.
Okay, Tommy, let me show you what we have here.
Okay?
A few months ago, we put in a new bathroom fan, and we noticed this discoloration in these areas right here.
Under the roof sheathing.
That's right.
That's the beginning of mold. So what you've done is you've actually vented the bathroom fan outside, but you've vented into a vented soffit. What happens is that soffit pulls that warm, moist air into the attic. In the wintertime, it condenses under the sheathing, causes the sheathing to get wet, causes mold to grow. That's as bad as venting the fan right into the attic.
Okay. So what can we do about that?
Well, let's take a more direct route and vent the fan right out through the roof.
All right, sounds great.
Now, the best way to mark for where we're going to put the hole is about in the middle of the rafter bay. I'm going to take a nail, and I'm going to drive it right through the roof sheathing, through the roof shingles, and it'll stick up. We'll go outside and locate the nail. All right, we're up on the roof, and you can see where the nail came through the roof. This is where we're going to drill our hole. We're going to use this vent hood right here. It actually has a little door on the inside here that will close with gravity to keep the cold air from blowing back into the bathroom when the fan is off. It has a screen right here to keep the critters up. First thing I want to do is remove some of the roof shingles so I can drill a hole. All right, now I'm going to measure the vent hood. It's 5.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my tape at 2 3/4, that on one side, 5.5 on the other side, and that will center my vent hood right over the nail. Now cut right across the bottom here. Now I'll remove that shingle. Okay. Now I gotta break the seal of the shingle so I can slide the vent hood up under the shingles. What I'd like to be able to do is slide the vent hood up up under the roof shingles, but I'm hitting a nail. So I have to remove that nail. So I want to get the bar under the roof shingle, get it under the nail, push down, and tap down the roof shingle, and there's my nail. Okay. Now, all right, that fits good. Now I'm ready to drill a hole. I'm going to use a 4 1/4 inch hole saw. Okay, now ready for the duct. All right, now your original ductwork is actually uninsulated. So what I want to do is I want to change it to this right here, an insulated duct system. By doing that, we'll lessen the chance of condensation forming in the winter when your attic is cold. Now I want to put this sleeve into the pipe so I can connect the ductwork to the roof. The first thing I need to do is I need to crimp this so it will fit inside the pipe. By crimping this pipe, it actually makes it smaller, so it'll fit in the 4-inch pipe. Now it'll fit inside this 4-inch pipe. Slide it right on there. Okay. Now to hold the two together, I'm going to use this foil duct tape. All right, that's good. This is the end that you'll pass to me when I get up on the roof. While you get up on the roof, disconnect the old ductwork and connect this one.
Okay.
Okay, slide it up.
All right, Tom.
All right, now to hold the ductwork into position, I'm simply going to cut a couple of tabs on each side so I can nail it to the roof. Now bend those over. Now slide the ductwork down just a little. Hold it right there and get a nail. That's one. All right, now we're ready for the vent hood. Now what I want to do is I want to run a bead of caulking right around the perimeter underneath. A nice heavy bead of a tripolymer caulking. Seal it up really nice. Okay, now I don't want to put any on the bottom right here because if any condensation should form, it'll run out under the hood. And I gotta pick up the shingle. Slide it right up in there. Push it down. Work it around. Make a nice tight seal. Good. Now what I want to do is pick up the shingle. Then I'm going to drive the nail through the flange into the sheathing. Okay, now the other side. Okay, now I want to put another bead of sealant right down here. Nice thick bead. Soften it right at the edge of the roof shingle. Push that shingle right in it. That'll seal that. Do the same thing on the other side. Across the bottom of the shingle a little bit. Push it into it. Now I want to put a couple of nails across the top of the vent hood. Okay, nice thick bead there. Across the top of the hood. And now just push the shingle into it and the vent hood is sealed. Now when you turn on that bathroom fan, all that warm, moist air will come out of the house and stay out of the house.
Tommy, this is great. I'm so appreciative. You did a terrific job. Thank you.
My pleasure, Mark.
Tommy, we get a lot of questions about bathroom fans that are vented improperly. And I guess we shouldn't be surprised. The air you vent out of a bathroom can be 100% humidity. And when you start blowing that moist air back into the house, you're bound to have problems.
Right. Well, when I got there, Kevin, I looked at the sheathing inside the attic, and there was a section of it that was starting to get all black. I pointed it out to the homeowner, and he said, well, a couple of years ago, he had to replace all the sheathing on the back of the house because all that sheathing was already black.
So he had to replace the roof, and the mold was already coming back.
That's right.
So a big problem for him, and an important fix. Thanks.
Right.
Well, keep your letters and your emails coming. And until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor
And I'm Tom Silver.
for Ask This Old House.
If you have a question about your house or a tip you'd like to share, please let us know. Visit our website, pbs.org, for expert advice, step-by-step videos, and much more.